Hi, guys. Welcome to VoiceOver Startup. I just wanted to share just a few thoughts. And if you're like me, this recent coronavirus quarantine has made me wax philosophical. um, I've actually worked from home for about the last 4 years. So it's been not as big a shock to me as to a lot of folks. Unfortunately, I've been able to continue working through all of this. So I'm lucky. I mean, I was not one of these people that was laid off or hasn't been able to work. So I feel very blessed for that. But it has made me think about a few things. And one of the things, I'm already reading articles about this, and this is kind of the field I work in learning and development and in contact centers and those things. So this is just part of my world for my real job. But we're already hearing articles. I've seen an ad campaign from Dell Computers, in fact, that kind of alludes to this. And that is more and more companies, they've kind of been forced into sending their workforce to home to work. And one of the things that will come out of this, which I think will be a net positive once it's all over with, is there's a lot of companies that are deciding that, you know what? We can continue to do this. Employees are happier working from home. And surprisingly, research shows that they're more productive working from home. And that's kind of been one of the big arguments over the years. Is the concern for many companies is, hey, if our folks are working from home, they're going to be messing around. They won't be following their schedules. They won't be blah, 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 kind of that real type X manager mentality. But the research shows that's not true. The productivity is higher when folks are working from home. Now, that doesn't mean that they aren't more fluid with their schedule, because I mean, let's be honest, when you're at home, there's, if you're going to run an errand, you're going to run an errand, right? And it kind of depends on the nature of your job, right? If you're in a job that requires you to sit and be in a certain place from X time to X time, I could see where those concerns would reside. But many jobs, even though companies have told us you've got to work this schedule, it doesn't really have to be that way, because much of what we do is project based, meaning we've got stuff we got to get done. And companies are realizing, well, I don't care when you do it. For instance, in my role as a trainer, obviously there are hard schedule commitments, right? I've got to be facilitating a class at a certain time, right? But much of my work is project based, which means I can do it whenever. I just got to get it done. I have a deadline. I got to get it done. And so that's what companies are realizing, is that your employees are going to be happier. It's cheaper for employees to work from home, right? They don't have the commute. They aren't spending money going out to eat as much. They just feel better being at home. When the weather's crappy, you don't have to get out and drive in it. So there's a lot of positives to working from home. On the business side, wow, if I can let me talk about my company, for example. We've got about 16,000 employees. We've moved over 7,000 agents in the last 6 weeks to working at home, which has been phenomenal. So imagine if you're a company now and you've freed up 50% of your office space that you don't have to lease anymore. Imagine the savings there. So the net effect after this pandemic, I believe, will be many more folks will be working from home. And it will just further leverage technology that we've been seeing since the advent of the internet. Now, what does that mean to us as voiceover artists? I see a lot of upside. I see a lot of opportunities for someone who can do voiceover work to stay busy. Because what this means is more and more things will be moved from an on-site. And let's talk about training or learning and development in general. A lot of stuff that we've done instructor-led on-site in a classroom now has to be done either virtually or in some type of on-demand format, meaning online. So if you see a greater leverage of online learning tools, then that means they need more voiceover people, because that's what happens. A lot of my work is for e-learning, and I only see that getting bigger after this, because more and more companies will be leveraging that e-learning stuff. We live in a phenomenal time in terms of technology. I've already talked on a recent episode about podcasting. Podcasting is only going to be growing. E-learning only going to be growing. And this just means more opportunities, not only as a voiceover person to do voiceover work, but just there will be more and more opportunities for us to make money doing different things that we could not have been able to do 20 years ago or 25 years ago before the internet. So it's a brave new world in terms of opportunities that will be out there. So I'm super positive, have a super positive outlook about what's coming down the road for those of us that choose to work in voiceover, podcasting, just this whole freelance marketplace in general. More and more folks are realizing I can do stuff on my own. I don't need a company. I don't have to work for someone. Now, I have a good job that pays me well. I have benefits, so there's that security blanket piece, right? It's hard to let go of that, and I understand that. And at this point, my voiceover stuff is still a sideline. But guys, if I were to get laid off tomorrow, okay, if I lost my job tomorrow, I would totally jump in, full force on voiceover, podcast, the various freelancing opportunities out there. I write copy. I can write copy. I mean, there are so many platforms and things out there that you can dabble in, that you can have an income stream. YouTube. Okay, I'm a YouTuber, right? I'm on YouTube right here. Obviously, I'm not making money from this channel. I've got another channel, my Classic Guitar Rock channel. If you ever want to check that out, it's just called Classic Guitar Rock. And it's small. I've got almost 2,000 subscribers, but that's making me money now. Not very much. I make about $60 a month, so that's not much. But the point is, all of these things can only grow and get bigger. So if you're one of these folks that it feels like you have to be confined to a job, we all have to, for a short time at least, right? We got to make money. We got to have some sense of security, but never before that I'm aware of have there been so many opportunities for someone to freelance, for someone to own their own business, for lack of a better word. So it's an exciting time to be involved in what we're doing. And I think it's only going to get bigger and better. And the choice we make is, am I going to let that scare me? Am I going to sit back and say, I can't do that. I can't. I talk to people all the time that are saying, hey, well, what do you want? I got a friend, talk to him all the time. He's struggled over the last few years about not making enough money to support his family and all this stuff. And I've even said, dude, do voiceover. He's like, I don't know how to do voiceovers. I've never done it, but he's got a nice voice. He's a good reader. Why not? Jump in, give it a try. And voiceover is just one example. We are all experts in something. Every single one of us is an expert in something that we could monetize. I really believe that. And the exciting thing is we're in a world now, technology allows us to do this, to reach out on whatever platform it is and provide a service. So think about what makes you you. What is it that you're an expert at? Maybe it's a hobby. Maybe it's you're a mechanic. Maybe it's you're a contractor. My brother is a contractor, a great carpenter. And I was talking to him yesterday about, you should start a YouTube channel. He's like, what do you mean? I said, dude, there are people, me, one of them, if I have a problem and I don't know how to do something, I go straight to YouTube. And there are tons of carpenters out there that have YouTube channels that show average Joes like me how to frame a door, how to put in a window, how to, put in flooring, whatever it is. And that's what I'm telling them. I'm like, dude, monetize that. Monetize that. When you're 70 years old, you're not going to want to be still setting tile, right? So start now, start monetizing those things. There's an economy out there, an information economy that you can monetize. You can be your own boss. Okay, that time is here right now. And so I guess this is a pep talk. If you haven't put out your shingle yet, and whether it's voiceover or any type of freelance idea you've had, what are you waiting for? Now's the time. There's nothing holding you back, especially if you're on quarantine and got nothing else to do, right? Start a YouTube channel. Start working on Fiverr. Start offering whatever it is you're an expert at. And I guarantee you there's a market out there. I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, right? But it's a gradual thing, okay? I was looking back at my other YouTube channel. I started it on I was just looking at it last night. Valentine's Day of 2014 is when I started my YouTube channel. So that's over 6 years. Well, here's what's sad is throughout that 6-year period, there are like 3 stretches of a year. So half that time I was not posting anything. Okay? Now, I'm on a schedule now where I try and post something every day. Okay, and I'm trying to do the same on this voiceover startup channel. You see, I'm doing a terrible job, right? But the point is, had I just kept doing that from 2014 when I started 6 years ago, not taking those 9-month, 12-month gaps of not doing anything, man, I might have 10,000 subscribers, right? I might be making $200 a month. Just passive income, because once you put those videos up, you don't do anything else, right? You just can make money from those. That's just an example. And what's my point? Don't wait, right? Because if you don't do it today, 5 years from now, when you're thinking again, man, I should have started doing voiceover work, 5 years will have passed. Well, if you would have started today, you'd already have 5 years under your belt and it would have already made 5 years worth of money. Okay? I know I sound like Matt Foley, a motivational speaker, right? But it's true. It's true. We live in a great time, great opportunities, whether it's voiceover, podcasting, YouTubing, freelancing, whatever skills you have. There is a market out there for whatever it is you are an expert at. So go out and make something happen. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.